So tell me, vessels. What's it all about? Mary, Kirsteen, what's it all about?
It's about what you see. It's about containers of different sorts. Painted, drawn, created out of clay.
So is it like a metaphor in life and
you
vessels?
you could see it as that a pot is a container for whatever you.
The universe is calling, Mary. The universe is calling. Tell me, how would you describe your style?
Texture, I think, is ultimately where I love texture. I love all sorts of textures and how they mimic, because you can never recreate the beauty of nature. You're always trying to kind of capture the essence of nature somehow. So I make sort of pod forms and landscapey kind of dishes that just simple, but they always end up as being a pot of some description. They always end up as being some kind of container, which I suppose makes them functional. Even the sort of sculptural pieces I make tend to have a pot form. The big dandelion seed, the base of it is a pot basically, which is the seed, the carrier of life. Deep and meaningful. But so even the sculptural pieces tend to be pot forms, vessel forms, containers. And the sort of little vases and things I make, I don't make them for big bunches of flowers. I make them for one special little weed, one special little seed head, which, is some way of displaying that one special little seed.
So Mary, tell us, what inspires you for your art?
I think for these particular paintings I've been very inspired by objects, and I love objects. I've got a big collection of different shaped things. So they're sort of still lives, I guess. But I think they express a lot more than just being representational. They are all contain containers, some of which are empty. So maybe something to do with emptiness. And some quality of waiting, like the jug is waiting to be poured or whatever. So they're all almost about absence of the human beings that would use them.
Your use of light and dark, colour and texture, it's just fantastic. And I know you're saying there's this sense of waiting. I see such optimism in the paintings. I see potential that's there of what it is that we're waiting for and what's coming.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that could be true, but I mean I don't always see it that way myself, because I think I have quite a bleak outlook sometimes. No, it's good that they're waiting for something and something is coming. With regard to the colour, I love colour. Texture I don't think about at all. I think the texture that you can see is made by the fact that I work over my paintings a lot. So the texture is part of the process. And sometimes I'll have a complete painting underneath that I've painted over, and you'll see this sort of palimpsest of the earlier work. And I think the brushstrokes make a sort of nice 3D effect as well. So I don't think of texture as a separate thing. It's not something I'm interested in sort of trying to create, to be honest. And the light and dark, I think that must depend on my mood, really.
Oh, share with us, yeah? What emotions have you felt when you've been looking at these wonderful pieces of art?
Is curiosity an emotion? Because I'm curious about them all. And I also think they're very quirky. And I love them. It's such a fabulous mixture of the two. of the vessels that you can see three-dimensional in front of you, which are really quirky because they have all these fun textures and swirls and patterns and things on them. And they're really unusual, like the ones over there that have got all the bits sticking out of them. They're brilliant, and the colours are amazing. I just love all those sort of the shiny, I like shiny colours anyway. But then you've got Mary's work, which is beautiful, and the pots themselves are quirky. The vessels they're not perfect, straight up and down and round ones. They've all got personality. They've all got character, and I love them. And the colours are just so, not surreal, but those blues are intense. I particularly love that one over there because the colours just really stand out, and they make the containers that she's drawing or painting just look so real, and I love them.